Gonna be doing something a little bit different today. Now that I've got all the stuff for the Camaro out, and the shop is still an absolute disaster. It's gonna take me a long time to get this place put back together. Took me years to do the other place, so hopefully it doesn't take that long on this place. However, as we all know, the holidays are coming up, 4th of July. The owner is coming into town for a couple weeks, and he wants to take some of the cars out. So I've already gone over to the house and fueled and washed one of them. I have 2 more at the house to do, and I have 3 here to do. So today, that's what we're doing. But first I need to move all this stuff out of the way. I got 4 pallets right here. I need to tuck back over here somewhere. I don't know. Figure it out. And then I got to push the Camaro back a little bit. I got these 2 cars need to come out. Then I got to move the El Camino forward, take the Mustang out. The Camaro. Oh, it's going to get interesting because I need to get the Jeep that's way back there in the corner out. So I think what I'll end up doing, at least for now, is moving the El Camino, moving the Mustang, pulling the Jeep out, put the Mustang back where the Jeep was, put the El Camino in front of the Mustang, and then that way the Jeep will be sitting out, and then the El Camino and the 124 will be out. Maybe what I'll do at that point is take these 4 pallets and put them back there behind the 124. I don't know. I gotta figure it out. So, or maybe I'll just stick them over here. I don't know. Got a lot to do still. So that's the plan today. Let me get all this done real quick, and then why don't you guys come along? We'll drive the S2000 down and put some fuel in it, run it through the car wash, do that for the S2000, the 124, and that really awesome Jeep back there in the corner. I don't think that'd be kind of fun. I don't know. I haven't used my GoPros in a while, but I can throw those up in the window and see what happens. All right, give me a minute. Haven't driven these. Well, I guess I did drive them. We moved them 2 weeks ago, something like that. Anyways, they should start. Let's see what happens. Oh yeah, she started right up. The convertible, so, you know, gotta put the top down. AC blows cold in this car. Let me, let's move this thing up a little bit. And then, let me give you a little tour of this thing. Now this car's dirty. One of the reasons I'm taking it to the car wash. But I'll tell you, I'm not as young as I was. I had one of these back in like 2005, and I remember getting in and out of it so much easier. Now I'm just old and fat. All right, let me give you a tour of this car because we haven't really looked at this thing too much. So not original paint. I did discover later. It looks like the front bumper was repainted, and I think this fender over here. However, I don't find any damage. There's no damage on the car. I didn't find anything bent or messed up. I'm thinking that maybe they got too close to something, or somebody got too close to them and it scratched it or did whatever, you know, as things happen in life. So yeah, not original paint here, but the rest of the car is original paint. spent a lot of time. Oh man, it's got some bird poop there on the back, which is not good to let bird poop sit on a car. The acids in the poop will tear up the paint, so I'll have to quickly jump on that real quick and see if I got to do any correction before we go to the car wash. But yeah, here's the interior. You can see a little bit of wear in the driver's seat over there on the side. Nothing too crazy. Mostly because the seats are just old. As the material gets old, as we all know, you know, you sit in it and then it'll crack a little bit and wear significantly faster. But yeah, seats look good. Dashboard's really nice. Original 7,057 miles. That's pretty cool. Whoever owned it before us did change the stereo. It's got an aftermarket in it. However, I do have the original stereo that goes in this car. But yeah, super clean, super nice. Let me put you down on the stand and we'll pop the hood on this thing and take a look at the engine. I don't know if I ever showed you it, but while this thing warms up for a second, we can check it out. This is kind of what I wanted to do when we were moving, you know, do that parade of cars. Kind of give you a tour of each one. Kind of like what I did on the first ever video that I did, kind of walking around talking about some of the cars. But so, you know, this is just your standard S2K. Nothing's been really done to it yet. We did a cold air on it to give it a little more power. Plus this sounds wicked cool when the cams twist. Then I just did coilovers on it. So it's got adjustable coilovers front and rear. I do need to work on that system, so at some point we are going to be working on this car. And I'll get into more of that later when we do go ahead and work on it. But the transmission was done. It's got carbon synchros is what they told me, and then a stage 2 clutch, because I was thinking that maybe someday we might go turbo. Yeah, super clean car. Everything on this thing's just wicked clean. Hood's in really good shape. All the stickers, of course, are in place. In case you're wondering how you can tell, right here on the fender, or on the bumper cover, that's supposed to have a VIN tag on it. Also on the fender, oh here, oh this one's got it. So it's this one over here that was replaced. This one doesn't, or painted, sorry. That one doesn't have it. So it was this fender that was painted, which makes sense. It's on the passenger side. That's where you're going to get a lot of damage. But that's how you can tell if you ever go to buy a car. Look for the VIN tag. Well, especially the Hondas and stuff. They put the little VIN tag on everything. So super clean motor though. This car's in really good shape. It does like to go through batteries because of, you know, how small it is, I think. Fluid's all done. So I just had this thing serviced like a year ago. All new fluids put in it. Everything flushed and cleaned, and belts, and you know, went through the hoses and looked for anything that looked like it was out of place, and then replaced them all with Honda parts. You know, just trying to keep the car as clean and original as possible. You know, with these cars, they're getting pretty valuable. Honda didn't build very many of them. They built them for a while. I would say a good, if I had to guess off the top of my head, like 7 or 8 years, maybe longer. Maybe it's more like 10, I don't know. But you know, being a 2-seater convertible, they didn't sell a lot of them. There wasn't a lot of these that really sold and moved all that well. Although really cool car, a lot of fun, not very practical. So just like in most sports cars, you're not selling large volumes of them. So, and the ones that did get sold, of course, in the beginning, People modified the heck out of them, as I would have back in those days too, because they're a ton of fun. These things are so much fun. But this is kind of a survivor, if you will. Very low mileage, as you can see. You can tell all original. For the most part, like I said, a little paint here and there changed. But yeah, so this one's just kind of a toy. You know, the owner wanted one and we found a really good one, low mileage. Paid more for this car than I did for the one that I had back in 2005, 6, whenever it was. Because the value on these things are just going through the roof. So I couldn't even guess right now if I had to guess what this thing's worth. I know it's worth significantly more than what we paid for it. But honestly, it wasn't for that. This thing was supposed to be just a cheap, fun cruiser. The 124 Spider, that's the owner's favorite car out of all of them. He loves that car, and it is a fun car. I like this one a little bit more. When he bought that car, he asked me, he's like, hey, what car do you want to add to the collection? So that when we go out, we go cruising, you know, you can come along with me. Since that's the car he likes to take, I told him an S2000. And so this is the one we bought. This is the one that he bought, you know, so that we can go cruising. Really fun car. Anyways, let's get a camera in the windshield. I'm gonna wipe some of the bugs and stuff off of it before I go, because I want the car wash to kind of clean up a lot more that's on here. And then let's go cruise this thing around. First gear helps. All right, haven't driven this car in a minute. Put my water bottle down there. Let's see, we gotta put fuel in it, which is good. It's been sitting around a lot, so you know, needs gas. These cars sit a lot, which is bad for them. Really got to heat the transmission up on this car, otherwise it just grinds second gear. Love the way it sounds though. I mean, it is definitely not the fastest thing on the planet, but it makes such cool noises, you know? That's really the thing about it. Of course, you want to stay in the speed limit, you know. We're never speeding. Remember, this is a Honda. It makes a lot of noise, but it don't really go anywhere. So I don't know if you notice, like, I'm really kind of bouncing around in the back, really bouncing around in the whole car, period. What a lot of that is the coilovers, for one. Anytime you're lowering a car, you're shrinking the amount of spring you have to use. Although this is progressive rate and all that kind of stuff, still makes it you know, a little bit bouncy. But the other thing is that it's not tuned correctly. It's you know, I need to get in there and tune on the suspension. Looks like there's a Lexus behind us, so that's cool. So yeah, 7,000 miles. I believe this is a 2004. So, you know, it's been around a while and hasn't been driven a lot. But it's still a lot of fun when you do drive it. That's the most important thing. Got to get out and drive these cars. You know, you can see the quality of car that I like to build. Mainly that's because that's what I kind of grew up around. I think a lot of people, especially doing these different channels and stuff, they kind of follow what they just grew up with, you know, whether it be, you know, fixing up old junk cars and making them run, or, you know, building show cars and SEMA cars and, you know, that kind of stuff. I kind of just grew up around like more of the higher end race cars. So for me, oops, turn signals on. For me, it's a lot about, you know, I was in the automotive industry, so, you know, working for manufacturers and stuff, you know, you're building and working on cars that are for, you know, going to shows and going to magazines and that kind of stuff. And so more of the higher end stuff, the stuff that, you know, most people don't have, I'm not going to say access to, but it's hard because the amount of money that it actually takes to build a car like that is way out of what I can afford, that's for sure. But, you know, you get hooked up with someone like the owner of these cars, and it makes that dream kind of come true. So makes it a lot easier for me. But yeah, she's definitely a fun one. So next we'll get into the 124. Now this thing revs to 8,000 RPM, which honestly is what makes this car fun, because you have so much RPM range that when you're in corners and you're really trying to get into it, because it is so slow, you got more time between shifts. So it makes up a lot when you're dealing with a slower car. But the 124, the car we're going to get into next, that car, it only revs to like $6,000, if that. I got to remember exactly what it revs to, but it's also turbocharged. So the gears go by quick in that car, so you really got to stay on it. Where this one, you can kind of more feel out the sound. The 124, you got to really kind of pay attention to where you are in the RPM. It doesn't like doing much up top, and it doesn't like doing anything down low. So that, in my mind, that car's a little bit harder to drive, but you know, sometimes the harder cars are the more fun because it takes more skill. I tell you, these things are so much fun. This is such a great motor. I know the new Honda motor everyone's using is the K motor, the K swap, but these are awesome. It makes such cool sounds. I believe so. This one is a, let's see, there was the 2.2 and then the 2.0 or 2.1, I can't remember. The 2.2, the 2.0, I think 2.0 or 2.1, I can't remember. I have to look it up again. That was the first generation S2000. They revved to $9,000. Then when they dropped the RPM range down one, basically reduced it by 1,000 RPM, then it went up in displacement. I think that's basically what they're trying to do, is grab some more displacement out of it. That's only about half throttle. Just kind of get into that cold air box because it sounds so much fun. None of that was even getting into the camshafts at all. But you know, watch, there's a lot of cops around today. I'm seeing them all over the place. Of course, all these cars are registered and insured, so. Anyways, here we go, coming up on the car wash. Let's go ahead and put the top up. There we go. Oh, not like that. I'm telling you, I had the carbon synchros is what they suggested to help out the transmission in these. Anybody who knows these S2000s know that the transmissions are just kind of They're garbage. I ain't gonna lie to you. They're garbage. But, you know, the thing is that, gotta get my money's out. You know, you do the best you can. I'm sure I could swap in like a Tremec or something like that into this car. But again, it's only 7,000 miles. Even though we have done some suspension mods, it's all light stuff. You know, I like to keep it somewhat original because then, you know, it's kind of the way the car was. I don't take away from that. You know, just like to kind of add stuff to, you know, and I don't know, can't see a transmission, so if they do make like a kit for a Tremec or something like that, maybe that'd be the route to go. But for now, basically you got to make sure you push the clutch all the way in. You can't really get into fast shifts until the car's got a lot of heat in it. Right now the temperature it's up to operating temperature, but we've just been driving it on the street, you remember, so, and fairly quickly we're already at the car wash. So the transmission's not really up to temp yet. It's like when I had the clutch in, I went to put it in first gear, I did it too fast, and so it kicked back. Every S2000 I've driven's been that way. Maybe somebody's out there knows of a way I can fix that. I would love to fix it. But for now, it's fine. When we go out and have fun with these, they get nice and hot, so. What's up, man?
What's up?
Please wait while we verify
do
your
the-
membership.
The basal.
Nah, the
Please
platinum.
select the
Yeah,
card.
yeah.
To complete your purchase, please insert cash or card.
Alright. You've never seen it?
No.
Okay, that's fine.
Please wait.
Thanks, man.
The wash is busy at this time.
Everybody that sees this car loves it. I mean, you know, it's kind of the way all the cars are. Anytime I take one of them out there, only like so the 124 really doesn't get any very many. Woo, you know, check that out. Kind of like that guy was doing with this car. Now this is a 2004, I think. You know, super clean. You don't see these. The 124 Spider. Now, you don't really see them, but it's still too new for people to really for you to really kind of get that reaction quite yet out of that car. Eventually you will. It just takes time. You know, the car's got to mature like a, you know, fine bottle of wine, like they say. And this car, of course, has done really well. I think in the future, the 124 will get to that stage where, you know, people are surprised to see one so clean. Of course, it is Fiat. Fiat in the States, you know, really not all that popular. I mean, it is, but it's not. Is it popular with the car crowd? Yes and no. It takes that, you know, special collector or whatever. It's not as maybe a household name as Honda or, you know, Toyota or something. If I was driving a Supra, you know, or maybe even like a clean MR2, you know, it would get a better reaction than the 124. Of course, we don't have these cars for, you know, the reaction of people. We have these cars because they're fun. I hate this part. You gotta line up the car on this stupid. You know how it goes. You guys have been there. Alright. Make sure the windows are up. Top's as tight as it's gonna get. Feels okay. Brakes feel okay. Alright, well, guess it feels alright. Let's see if we can go put some go-go juice in this thing. Keep from getting ran over. That's the other bad part about driving a small car is nobody sees you. There we go. We'll hit up the Chevron and then back to the shop. And then I'll probably end up ending this video and we'll make this one, and then I'll make another one for the 124, and then we have the Jeep 392. That is the whole shop monster. Let me tell you what, like, I can take anything, cross a signal light with that Jeep. It is absolutely amazing. There's a lot of really fast 0 to 60 cars, but all-wheel drive and 500 horsepower out of a big block. I mean, past the signal light, you ain't going anywhere. But, well, you are. It's fast, but you're not going to win anything. Well, I'm not gonna. Sorry, I'm spitting over my words here. You're not gonna beat anything after that. Whatever. You know what I mean. What side's the stupid gas thing on? The passenger side? No, driver's side. Driver's side, right? Driver's side? Oh, there's no little arrow thing. Usually they put like a little arrow. I think it's on the driver's side, if I remember. Let's see. Let's try it. Alright guys, hang tight. I'll be right back. Okay, you guys ready? Oh, it's been fun. You guys have been having a good time, I know it. Honestly, I always tell myself, like, I don't understand how anybody could even watch. Like, I don't have that many subscribers. I got like 98, trying to get to 100. Because at 100, I get a custom URL. Oh man, that scraped the front bumper. But trying to get to that custom URL, and I always think, like, why is anybody even interested? And then I forget that I actually go on YouTube and I watch some of the dumbest stuff. Like, if you saw my YouTube history, you'd just be like, what? I mean, I'll watch some, hunt for aliens or buried treasure, abandoned this or abandoned that. I don't know, maybe a lot of you guys watch the same thing. I enjoy it though. I gotta get food. I think there's a Jack in the Box. Where am I? Yeah, there's a Jack in the Box right here. Alright, let's hit up the Jack in the Box. Grab some lunch. And then I'll throw you guys in the 124 based on the time. I don't know, maybe we can get to the 392 today. That one's gonna be hard. I gotta dig it out. We'll see though. Well, there you have it. Got 2004 Honda S2000. We got it over to the car wash, got it cleaned up, got it fueled up. She looks pretty good. I'm gonna put it in here for now because it gets really dusty outside. And then I'm gonna go eat lunch. Sorry about the cutting it at the end. There's just a lot of driving anyways, talking. You know me, and love to talk. But GoPro's got hot. If anybody has a suggestion for GoPro type devices that I can use that are not as sensitive. I mean, I had the AC blowing on them. I did everything I could to try and keep them cool. It was only a little bit that we drove with the top down, and then the top was up, and I had the windows up and the AC up. You know, it was cold in there, but the sun beating on them, I guess, got them too hot. So if you got any suggestions on another type of device that I could use for that situation, these are Hero Black 11s, I think. I don't know. So, anyways, they shut off, as they always do. So, but that's it. Car's clean. It's ready to go. Next up's 124. Let me grab some lunch. Like I said, I'm gonna make each car, I think, its own little video. I think that'll be cool. That way we can spend a little bit of time with each car instead of me just doing like a little 5-minute clip with each one, you know, to give you 15 minutes worth of video. This video is probably gonna be longer than 15 minutes anyways, but hey, you know, that's cool. I'll trim it down a bit. But anyways, thank you guys for watching as always. If you haven't already done so, like and subscribe. Stay tuned for the 124, which should be coming right after this one. And like always, guys, until next time.